So the best part about it is when he got to the center of the mofongo and found out that it was actually deep fried penis, which really just sort of ruined the rest of the meal and didn't encourage any of us to tip.
Did you call 311?
And if that's not enough to figure it out, Adam's back on the show. Welcome back.
It's good to be back. Hi, Internet. Thank you for supplying me with pornography and a reason to live.
Yo, did you see that fucking FBI virus, speaking of pornography? I'm sitting there trying to watch fucking some amateur girl think that she's getting a movie, role, and then she has to get railed by the guy with the camera, and all of a sudden my fucking computer screen blinks out, and I'm being charged by the Federal Bureau Investigation, just Bureau Investigation, and my computer shut down.
Disney would never give us
That's something he wants to admit.
That's, wow.
Can't download some decent porn anymore without some fucking asshole just ruining your computer.
Literally?
What is this world coming to?
He's really angry.
Yeah.
God.
I'm just an angry kind of guy.
The thing that I was going to say is that I just shook his hand not knowing if that was the one he
possibly, right, yeah.
If the FBI was angry at that.
No, honestly, you're fortunate this is the mouse hand.
Excellent. I was going to say that. Use the left hand because then you feel like it's a stranger.
Exactly.
I completely understand.
Sometimes I sit on it for a little while, but it really freaks me out.
If you get it nice and numb and lotion it, it's an experience, I'll tell you.
Like when I fought on my hand, I feel like a dirty slut. How do you like that one?
I like it. It's something you feel like you're in a Shizer movie.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's good.
Speaking of Shizer movies, we have some very interesting comic books from DC to review for you this week. Let's begin with the wonders that are Action Comics number 13.
I have dropped Action Comics. This is like your thing at this point.
It's still kind of prequel-ish. It's still a few years back.
So after a year of going strong,
yeah,
it's still him wearing a T-shirt with an S on it?
Sometimes.
And
it moves
I'm pretty
forward
sure I did that same
and
shit at like 8 years old.
I had underoos that were like that. So this is basically Clark Kent with underoos.
This is a big old Crypto episode. And Phantom
Crypto's not like a regular little
he's like
Dalmatian pooch no
big old monster grr type of thing, yeah.
A monster's grr.
Yeah.
Is Grant Morrison still writing this? Or is he finally just said, I'm done?
I don't know. I read so many books, I don't even look at who writes what.
I mean,
you do read an exorbitant amount of comics.
Yeah, I do.
So what do you think of it, man?
Honestly, I could drop all the Superman books easily.
Yeah.
Only two of them, bro.
It's not entertaining.
No, like, it's
two, and Supergirl. I actually like Supergirl more than I like Superman and Action Comics.
I really can't say
you reading Superboy too or no?
Oh yeah, Superboy too. Thank you.
How bad is Superboy?
Oh, it's horrible.
Okay.
Horrible.
I dropped that shit when Teen Titans and Superboy got dropped right around the same time when they tried to introduce Gen 13 as like the Ravagers or whatever.
I just can't.
They got no books.
We're gonna review a few DC books, but I just got a preface all this. Wow. And Ramon just gave me herpes. From a distance, which I have to say medically shouldn't be possible, and yet you can smell herpes.
And he did it that way too, so it came.
Yeah, like there's a nice fog, a mist of herpedom. But what I was gonna say is this: is that when we were reading these beforehand, it was like when they do all the big Marvel reboots or events, they talk about it on the website like we had a retreat, we all talked about what we were doing, we all got on the same page, and you get a sense that there's
which is really just the editors saying we're gonna do it this way, and you guys better conform.
But there's a sense that they're sort of in lockstep and have some fucking idea what they're doing. DC, it feels totally disjointed. It feels like three guys went to one corner of the room, another four guys to the other. They never talked, they never wrote, and now they just put out comic books in the same company.
At least they haven't given us those big ass events in a year.
You have a way of jinxing a lot of shit.
Yeah,
it's coming.
It's coming.
I can't mess with Superman or Batman anymore. They really like
I'm interested in the whole new Batman Death of the Family thing with the Joker coming out. Now the Joker possibly knows who Batman is. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
But in the previews,
how the fuck does nobody not know?
Did you read Night of the Owls?
I did, and I thought it was interesting. I didn't really like it though. Like it was an interesting idea.
Right.
I didn't like how they executed. No, I didn't feel like they executed it well at all.
Did you see the previews of the whole Joker thing where he's got like his own little bat cave kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of think it's cool what they're doing with Joker. They finally like had the balls to change him and make him scarier.
Yeah.
With that like reattached face and shit. I just, the fact they negated like all of Batman's history. He's supposedly only been around like
5 years or something.
Doesn't make any sense how like fucking.
How he could have 3 wars in that amount of time.
Yeah, like it just. I feel like it doesn't make any sense. They could have done some shit where it was like, oh, he worked it. In the shadows, and he wasn't public until 5 years ago. But they didn't do it.
They weren't because everything is rushed. Everything.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't like really feel like
the only thing good coming out of DC at this point has been not the only thing good, but the only thing that so far for me has been consistently good without really any complaints has been Animal Man and Swamp Thing, and I'm still. Rat World just premiered this week in the 13s, but we're gonna review that for you next week when because now for some reason it's tying into Frankenstein, Agent of Shade.
Because
that book is failing and they need to pick it up.
I was gonna say this is that. That they know that's pretty much the only thing they're getting right.
That's the only reason.
I gotta admit, I
boost sales.
I've occasionally picked up Animal Man, and it's actually like reader friendly, and it's got some. It's the only thing I've seen with any sort of interesting stories going on.
Like the Before Watchmen books.
No, I couldn't. I could not fucking touch them.
They're actually good.
They're pretty good.
You know what?
It's just really fan fiction, but that's all comic books are.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is that I get it, and I was really tempted by the Rorschach thing, but I didn't want to ruin like the Watchmen.
It doesn't, surprisingly.
It doesn't. No.
It's just an adventure before the end. The end adventure.
You know what I'm looking forward to in a similar vein to that DC is doing, and even though I know like we hate Grant Morrison, is the they're finally doing the multiversity thing, multiversity thing, and they're going to do an issue with like all the Charleston characters that Watchmen were based off of.
Oh,
yeah, like they go down multiverse. It's their world.
It's going to be. It looks interesting. I mean, Grant Morrison has apparently been planning this for years, so I'm kind of curious about that one.
Speaking of the multiverse, you've been reading Earth 2.
Which, you know, it's very funny. I didn't think I was going to like it. And they made Green Lantern gay, which felt gimmicky to me.
Yeah,
it was a complete gimmick because then by the second issue, everybody's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, like it was just,
he's gay, and then he died.
But it was
Green Lantern died? I thought his boyfriend died.
His boyfriend died.
Yeah.
But like the thing to me that they're actually taking some risks. They're doing some interesting character shit. The characters are actually kind of cool.
This is all the Justice
Black.
Society, right?
It's like Justice. It's
Hawkgirl.
Yeah, Hawkgirl's in it. I actually like this version of the Flash. Fucking the version of the Atom is kind of cool. Like it's actually really like sort of interestingly thought out and compelling. Like I give a shit.
Who's the dude in the cat costume?
I think that's gonna be Wildcat.
Wildcat.
I couldn't think of his name.
But it's kind of cool. They're like taking a few risks, and it's good. Like, and you don't have to have like 30 other books to keep up with it. It's a good superhero book. I like it.
Last but not least is Green Lantern 13 came out.
They
introduced it to a little bit more about Simon Baz, and now everybody thinks he's a terrorist. And I guess Jeff Johns can get away with this because he is an Arab American, so he could write this kind of a fucking story and get it.
Is it necessary?
I don't really think so.
Why is it necessary?
I don't know, man. I mean, if he's speaking from his own personal sort of like, why haven't we had an Arab American character yet? And Detroit does have a huge Arab American population. It has for a very long time. Like, so if he's saying like, I want to bring that voice to the table, cool. But I feel like it feels a little bit forced.
Forced.
It feels a little bit forced.
The guy's like an illegal street racer or whatever.
Or something like it's a Fast and Furious plotline. Like, it's okay. It's just
and now like the rest of his family is kind of shunned because they think he's a terrorist, and now they don't want to associate with them. That's I think the part that seems forced. I don't care about the Arab American fucking Green Lantern. That's like, I don't know. To me, it seems like a default thing, and I'm not an Arab American, so I don't know if this is. You would think, right? I'm actually not. No. I do tan in the summer, but that's
take him off the contact list. I don't want to.
But I'm not. I don't know if this is a thing that like they regularly have to deal with, like just because you're an Arab, like you're obviously a fucking terrorist with Taliban.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting. I'm glad that they're trying to diversify a little bit, but again, like all the stuff.
But the rest of the story in Green Lantern is getting very
cheesy.
confusing.
The criminal mask he wears. I mean,
and then it's ski mask. Yeah, I don't know.
And then the Justice League shows up at the end, like you got some trouble, dude.
Yeah, it all feels very.
I did not expect the JLA to show up this early. They showed up obviously in Blackest Night, but I didn't really think that they were going to show up in the whole Third Army crossover this soon.
And that's the other thing that kind of bugs me is I feel like it's about fucking spent. I feel like he blew his load with Darkest Night, and
they're going to turn the JLA into fucking Third World or the Third Army guys. They're definitely going to do it.
Or they're going to find.
I don't care for this event.
I genuinely feel like DC at this point is like, okay, well, they're still going for the Green Lantern shit, right? Okay, let's work with that. Let's do that.
What the thing is? I do want to see. Like, I'm still interested in it. I want to see the Guardians get their fucking comeuppance. I hate the little bastards. But this event is going to be fucking 12 to 13 issues long, and it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
That's my problem with this.
DC cartoons are better than the books.
I agree with that.
Justice Invasion.
Although I'm gonna, I mean,
Green Lantern, the anti-monitors around.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's what I'm saying. That's kind of interesting. Is that it just feels like they have no fucking idea what to do with these properties, man. Like it just, even if they're bad ideas, make them fucking coherent. I mean, that's the whole point. Is that what attracts people to fiction and really enjoying it is having an internal consistency, and this shit doesn't have it anymore. Like that is a wonderful hat.
Here's a fly off your hat, madam.
Apparently, and he just stole $1 from both of you. I mean, I'll be honest, man. I cannot fuck with DC on a regular basis anymore. Like, I just can't. Like, the whole like thing post Flashpoint has been really badly executed.
Which sucks because Flashpoint was a great.
It was a really good premise.
It's going to be a Flashpoint cartoon.
Really? How are they going to pull that off on a consistent basis?
No, just a movie. Just a movie. Sorry,
Dude,
movie cartoon.
okay.
I cannot dig it. I cannot dig it.
Have you checked out The Dark Knight Returns Part 1?
No, I heard
It was good.
Was it good?
No, it was good.
Okay, listen. I've heard horrible things about that, but I've been really like interested. Okay, here, super geek check. When I was when Batman the cartoon was out, they did an episode where there were 3 kids like imagined Batman like how it was supposed to be, and one of them was a scene from The Dark Knight, Bruce Timm styled. Wow. And it was fucking amazing.
I have every episode of that series.
Dude,
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It is great because they do the campy Batman, they do the
weird spiritual,
spiritual ghost Batman, and then they do the Dark Knight, and they get Michael Ironside to do the voice of Batman.
Wow.
And it is perfect. Like, it's really good. But they didn't do the movie that style. They did they didn't do it Frank Miller's style. Like, they just basically used that as a script. That kind of stuff.
I hate Frank Miller.
I'll link you my copy.
I'm just gonna go right out there and say it.
Dude, it suits his work. It doesn't suit anything else.
Yeah, I guess so. Before we dive into Marvel, let's go, since you said you can't fuck with DC on a regular basis, I've always kind of been a Marvel guy since Jump Street, but let's go through a couple of the other books. Are you reading Fatale by any chance?
I am not, and I know that it's a little hypocritical considering I was big into the whole Ed Brubaker noir comic.
And you were the one who turned me on to Criminal and everything, which is
good
great.
shit.
Yeah.
It's basically Criminal meets H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
It's good. It's up to issue 8 now. It's not obviously jump on friendly, but you could definitely. It's probably going to go 12 issues.
Mini?
What?
Mini?
No, it's definitely a maxi series. It's going to be 12 issues long.
Yeah,
it's good though.
I mean, I will say this: while we're in the vein of like indie titles, and I know Image doesn't qualify as indie anymore, but Prophet.
Dude, this from he beat the shit out of Spawn and everything.
It was a Rob Liefeld property. I know you guys haven't really been messing with it.
I heard this.
It is possibly one of the best fucking science fiction books I've ever read ever. They picked up at like issue 23, 28.
It's weird though. It's like he's in a weird world, and
here's the premise, and it's actually really.
I picked up the
cool.
first issue.
It's that John Prophet, the one from Rob Liefeld's run. It's still consistent, still happened. He basically was cloned like infinite number of times and became like foot soldiers for like this empire that conquered the universe. And then it fell apart and he went into like hibernation or something. But the clones are all starting to wake up now. So each issue, it's a different John Prophet in a standalone cool ass adventure. But then like every like 4th issue,
he dies or like
he'll tie it together.
Oh.
I mean, so that it has an actual ongoing plot, but you don't need to have each issue. And it's cool as shit. The artwork's a little are very uneven.
Yeah.
But the story, the overarching story is cool as shit. They basically set it up that the original John Prophet has woken up and is about to kill all his clones. Like, badly. In each issue, they show the guy and they have the same equipment, the same everything, they just use it differently. So, like, you'll see one guy come along and, like, if his arm gets cut off, he can adapt, like, an arm from some alien that he's killed and something.
How many issues in is it so far?
It's about, they just collected the first arc. I think they're about 9 issues in. Okay. And I really, really recommend it if you haven't.
Have you been reading all the Valiant books? I know you were into the Exo Manowar when it came out.
I've been reading Exo Manowar. I'm enjoying the hell out of that. Have not messed with Harbinger. I like Bloodshot. I like the premise of Bloodshot a lot, actually.
It's pretty good.
Like there's some genuinely cool ideas in there, and they
Archer and Armstrong.
Yeah, Archer and Armstrong is very good. I used to love
Eternal Warrior is supposed to show up, and Shadow. Ninjak's coming up.
Yeah, and I saw the preview for Shadowman. I loved Valiant when I was a kid. It was a really well thought out and well executed everything. I mean, it jumped the shark with the hologram, fucking animated giant fucking monkey.
That was the 90s, man. That was the 90s.
I know, but like. The books generally were really good, and this I'm enjoying the fuck out of Exo Manowar.
It is good.
Like it's a good.
He was the coolest character.
All this stuff, but all this stuff feels like you could be watching it on TV. They're definitely doing it with an eye for like that sort of cinema.
Yeah,
and it's good. I recommend it. I really. do.
What company? Remember fucking Zen Intergalactic Ninja, the fucking blue dude?
Yeah, like yes. The 90s.
Did that strike a nerve?
You know what it was? Every like art school dickhead loved shit like that. They're like, oh my god, look at it. Look at the detailed artwork. It's amazing.
I was an art school dickhead.
Yeah, no shit.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
How totally surprising that fucking strikes me. No, but in all seriousness, like, they do that and, like, the Maxx, they'd be like, oh, God, look at the intricate artwork. It's fantastic. Oh, my God, look at the penmanship. And I'm sitting there being like a retard who'd had an aneurysm wrote this. Like somebody sawed off a retard's hands and had him go and a keyboard. Yeah, and here's a blue ninja. Shoves a monkey up his ass with a sword. Yes, it was well drawn. Mazel tov.
That might have been your most articulate description to date. You just kind of get worse as the years go on.
Look at the giant blue ninja.
Something quite isn't animated before.
What's up with non-humans, man? Is it like toys coming to life or some shit?
You know, I'm trying to give Image a shot.
Non-humans.
More outside of the big two.
The first issue just come out.
But non-human was just garbage. Will Potatio is drawing it, or Potatio, whatever the fuck.
What the fuck happened to that guy?
After Wetworks, he went to shit. Shit.
Who wrote
Will's Potatio.
Maybe
No, he's not writing it. He's drawing
He's
it.
just drawing
shit.
I mean, the premise. What is the premise of the book, man? It was like toys.
Toys come
with
to life.
claws?
Yes.
So it's Toy Story.
This.
Wow.
No, third world.
Geek heavens just thundered. Like, oh, the firmaments are moving.
I recently started reading something from Third World called The Stuff of Legend.
Okay.
That's some good shit.
What is it?
It's like toys. Like this is Toy Story. Except they're going into against the boogeyman in the closet to rescue the kid.
So Toy Story means
That's cool.
Speaking of like some
Chucky.
children's shit,
Chucky.
I just seen. I went to see
Monsters,
Hotel
Inc.
Transylvania the other day.
It's good.
Awesome fucking movie, by the way. They had a preview for this thing called Rise of the Guardians. You familiar with this?
I am.
It's like
It's
a
like
gangster fucking ninja
Yeah.
Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and
Yeah.
fucking, and they're all like,
Santa has tats.
yo, Santa's like
And
some
it's
crazy
this
Russian mobster guy.
Yeah, like I don't know how they gave that, but it looks fun as hell. I want to take my kids.
There's
to
like
it.
an evil army of like there's one dude who looks like Nightmare. From fucking Doctor
Like,
Strange.
he's the
and he
boogeyman.
has an army of fucking black horses that I guarantee you are called nightmares. See what he did there? See that?
Yeah, I like
I'm
it.
calling that shit now. I haven't looked up a damn thing about
I
the
will
movie.
tell you this,
But it looks good.
Kids, like little kids now, are the luckiest creatures on
Yes.
earth because they have so many. Like I gotta say, man,
Yeah, but they got really shit toys, bro.
you are out of your mind. My son is 3 and has like every Avenger action figure, knows their names, knows how to use them, has epic goddamn battles on the couch with these
Optimus
figures.
Prime helmet. I would have loved to have had that as a kid.
He runs around. His favorite game to play is Iron Man because he has like every armor of Iron Man toy and chose them independently of any of his father's geekdom. We took him to the Toys R Us in the South Bronx, which is so big, it is literally visible from space. And they had an alley of Avengers toys. He went, Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man. Yes! And we're gone. So the good part is I don't have to worry about his college education now. Bad news is I had to take a mortgage out on a house I don't even own. So,
Has he repulsor blast you in the dick yet?
yes.
Awesome.
Wow, he really doesn't want competition, so he's basically like this. Huh. Whiplash! Bam! Done. My wife finds me curled up fetal on the kitchen floor and steps over me, gets her dinner, comes back out. Yeah, she's like, I didn't really want you near my hoo-ha anyway, so this kind of all lines up. How did we get to my wife's hoo-ha again? Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I don't know, man. I didn't
We took a
say
left turn at
word.
hoo-ha, we kept driving very near the roast beef curtains. What are we looking at
Robin
next?
Hood
Robin Hood's from Xenoscope, and every once in a while,
Robin with a Y?
with a Y. It's a
Like a female Robin Hood? Is
yeah,
that-
it's female. Robin.
overall, I like Xenoscope.
Really?
Their main art sucks. The
No,
covers are all
Yeah,
gorgeous.
the covers
but,
are amazing.
But I mean, I think
the longest shit they've
problem I
had has
have-
been the Fairy Tales book.
yes, everything always connects back to that.
Okay.
Every fucking single thing.
Really?
Flying
But
Volume
not
2
like a
is
good
coming
way,
out
like no
soon.
fun.
It's annoying. How are you gonna keep track of that
But all
shit?
Xenoscope does like fairy tale stuff, right? Isn't that kind of what they do mostly?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, except for the Waking.
And yeah, the Waking was pretty good. We reviewed that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Even that has like a quality of like.
But
Well, zombies.
for me, Fly was the best thing, and Volume 2 is coming
Fly's
out
good.
real soon.
I'm-
If you guys didn't read Fly, go get a fucking graphic of that. It's great, and everybody that we've recommended it to has written back
Enjoyed
and
it?
said, "Yo, this is awesome."
Like
Fly is good.
like
It's about a drug that
Superfly?
like is like some heroin shit that they inject and makes you fly, gives you superpowers.
I mean,
But you get addicted to it.
Well, my whole thing is what I was going to ask is it's amazing to me that these indie companies can still make a fucking living. You know what I mean? It's not easy out there these days, man. Like it's incredible that these
Look
guys
at the
can pull it
fucking
off.
really bad delivery times. Like I was enjoying Grim Ghost and Phoenix Rising and those
then all
things
that
from
shit
was it from
Atlas?
Atlas, yeah. And they were doing that big crossover, which I fucking said it. They should
So
never
early.
have tried it. Now, you know, speaking of which, it strikes me as Dynamite is doing the same thing with some of their flagship characters that I'm really enjoying, like the Shadow, the Spider, Green
Zorro.
Bullet, Zorro. It's called Masks.
Yeah.
And like, first of all, the Shadow is from like 1930s, and the Spider is now. What the fuck are you guys? What are you guys up to?
Time machine.
It's just,
No.
you know what?
The
I'm
Shadow
gonna
takes
say
place
that-
now.
Does it?
No, the Shadow's
No, Shadow
old.
No, but does it take place now though?
Shadow takes place.
Yeah, and the books come out
World War
now,
II.
but the
It still
time
takes place in
frame
the
is
30s?
like World War II or something.
Yeah, it's a Garth Ennis book right now. But my thing is this: is that it's the same mistake they made in the '90s. Remember when they did those horrible, huge crossover events that jumped the shark and no one gave a fuck, and it really sort of ruined it.
I think the last good
everybody
crossover
else.
event was Atlantis Attacks.
I mean, maybe. No, there've been some decent ones since then.
Galactic Storm.
You know,
Maximum Security.
yeah, I don't know what that was all about. I would say this though is that speaking of these giant world-spanning events, is that Avengers X-Men ended this week,
Thankfully.
and I gotta tell you
Lame.
something.
A whimper.
Yeah,
11 was the fucking, like, the penultimate
Dude.
chapter, and then the ski jumped
yeah.
to 12.
Here's what messed me up is
Excuse me.
they rushed through like one issue where suddenly like everyone's all corrupt and demented, and I thought that was kind of a cool dimension to like see them in, and then it was after that it was really just sort of boring and procedural, and like you knew what was coming, and they really just did Cyclops so dirty, like.
I said it before. I said it again to you guys. Stark should be arrested. He's the reason all went to shit. He divided the Phoenix. He caused all the drama.
Listen,
It should have gone to Hope. Hope would have brought back all the mutants like she did in this shit already. That's it. Done. One issue.
Well, what are you going to
One
arrest him for?
fucking issue.
Negligence?
Stark's
He didn't
dead.
know he was doing it.
I don't like Tony Stark.
I mean, I'm gonna say this is that I think
Because I was
Him and Aunt May.
Here we
he's,
go.
you know what it is? He's racist against Italians.
I know.
I don't know how.
And little old ladies. Little old white ladies.
How's it?
Tony Stark's Italian?
It is 2012. How does a
Look at that
goddamn
mustache.
Puerto
He's
Rican
Italian.
Get racist against Italians in
Staggerelli,
the 21st century? It's disgusting.
It's originally
and you're ageist against Aunt May. There's just something terrible and wrong.
I hate everybody.
I think that's fair. But my other thing is that this really went out with a whimper, man. It was like
Why is
Really
the
lame.
rest of the Phoenix Five? And okay, I understand why White Queen's on the run. I understand why Namor's on the run. He
on the run
I almost
from
said he
who?
wept Wakanda.
Wait.
So we're just gonna leave it at
Where
that.
are
He
they
wept
on the run from?
Wakanda.
No,
Where are they on the run
no.
from?
Here's my thing,
The rest of the Avengers?
I guess them, the law, whatever.
But
Why the fuck is Magneto in trouble?
I don't
He
know. That
helped
sucks.
them.
wait, and I have another question with that. I thought each one of those characters had to die for the Phoenix Force to come out.
No, they just got,
gotta
like,
get
knocked
really
the fuck
beaten
out.
up the fuck up.
But,
yeah. Which is horrible.
they tripped
How the
and
fuck
then
do you
they-
fuck up the Phoenix?
I don't know. It was really very disappointing.
And
The ending's
fucking Wanda?
disappointing. Yeah, like
Scarlet Witch?
I
Really?
really liked like the last like 3 or 4 issues when they were finally doing something and like beating the the Phoenix Force. I expected something better out of number 12, and then all of a sudden like they like Hope and the Scarlet Witch make him think he's seeing Jean Grey, and then they just sucker punch him and he's out cold.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I really did not. I didn't start picking up Avengers vs. X-Men until issue 5, and the fact that I picked it up at that point and was able to get moving with it, I was like, oh shit, this isn't bad.
They could have
And then-
started here.
Yeah, they really could have, right?
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then issue 12 comes in.
And this was kind of just an excuse for Captain America to unracist himself and bring some
Yeah.
more mutants into the Avengers. And now we've got Uncanny Avengers with like 9 quazillion covers coming out
Yeah.
next week.
I don't know. And I'm
I've
gonna
seen
tell
some of
you-
those prices, 800, 500.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I didn't even look
Listen.
at that. I didn't do my haul this week.
Don't.
Which is great. By the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to the haul. Go on PeachBasement.com and
doing
you'll
it
see
now.
it up
He's not
there.
waiting till the end till he shuts the cameras.
HAUL.
Look at
And make sure, because this is how Ramon knows that there's $900 variants coming out for this book, as we go and we look at what books we're going to pick up, and then we'll write them all down, we'll email them to each other, and then good old Ramon will email them off to you guys so you can know what tentatively we're going to review next week.
Tentatively.
So make
Tentatively.
sure
He used the word
that you
tentatively.
subscribe to the haul and hit us up if you don't like something we are saying, or if you completely agree, or if you looked at one of our recommendations or something, whatever. Questions at peachbasement.com,
That was karma.
facebook.com/peachbasement, and follow us on Twitter for up-to-the-minute comic reviews.
My final thought on Avengers vs. X-Men is that they didn't need that event to relaunch all these titles. You want to be honest with you? I feel like, first of all, I feel like Cyclops should have been leading a team of Avengers. He's one of the baddest motherfuckers in the Avengers book, in any of the Marvel books. and instead they turn him into sort of like a low rent Magneto at the end.
The idea of him as a villain, though, is interesting.
I like the idea of him as a villain, except now he just got bitched with a fucking stupid helmet.
Yeah, whatever. I'll say this right now, as far as mainstream books, I prefer Marvel to DC, but I'm still really sort of. Yeah.
Along with Avengers vs. X-Men 12, now AVX 6 concluded.
Yeah.
Who fought in this one? I didn't get a chance to
I think everybody. There was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
It was even Spider-Woman versus all the X-Women.
Type of thing.
It was like the Z grade battle at that point. Like, we ran out all the good ones.
You know what I'm actually surprised at? Is I think this is one of the first times a Marvel book with one of its little kind of sister title tie-in books have actually concluded at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Marvel's really they're doing a better job with this than DC. Whether the storylines are good,
I'm trying to keep their continuity together.
Yeah. They're doing a really good job.
But having mutants on the Avengers, like, to me, it seems like it's just they're taking the name Avengers and just throwing anybody on it. It loses its appeal.
Wolverine and Beast have been X-Men before.
I know Wolverine and Beast have, but
look, Wolverine's been an Avenger for a while.
Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, that bitch.
Yeah, but I will say this is that
I don't think we needed Scarlet Witch in this at all.
No,
there was no explanation for why her hex powers were the only thing that hurt the Phoenix.
But I don't see Cyclops as an Avenger. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
But neither is Havoc. Like, I don't know.
Havoc's an Avenger. Cyclops is locked up.
Yeah, Havoc, whatever. Havoc's going to be leading the Uncanny Avengers, they say.
So now Uncanny X-Men 19 is that tied into this, but
it was just almost a recap of number 12, and in the end, Cyclops pretty much says, "I'll do it all over again." He got what he wanted: more mutants.
Because don't mutants and Avengers, X-Men and Avengers, essentially have the same end game as far as helping whoever they need?
That was originally it.
So what the hell's the difference? What team they're on?
I don't know.
Like, what the hell? What's it?
Yeah, it just feels like meh. It feels like they were like, we need to reduce the number of books we have. Let's just start mixing. The only thing that I'm coming out of this really thinking about though is Nova, because I want to.
It's not Richard Rider.
I don't like
that.
And
if you notice his uniform, he's like a lower ranking Nova. It's not like the same outfit.
Right.
So I'm kind of curious because they brought back Thanos and they brought back Star-Lord. So I'm wondering if Richard Rider
is somewhere.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they brought it. I'm kind of a Nova dork. I like that.
I love.
But he's like a young kid. He's like, oh man, I'm going to be an Avenger, but I got to ask my mom.
I have a feeling it's going to be Robert Rider, like his kid brother.
Probably.
But he wasn't that much of a kid, was he? He was a scientist.
Just younger.
Yeah, but whatever, man. It's comic books. The age shit, they just adjust when they need to, like.
Yeah, but that was such a good book, the Nova books. Abnett and Lanning were just.
Well, they moved on to their own thing now. They're doing Hypernaturals, which is their own world to play with.
Yeah, it's okay. It takes place in a far future. There's a different timeline. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's good. The villain in this is like super fucking smart.
Abnett and Lanning do a good job generally.
That's all he has, and he just fucks you up with just his intelligence.
What's up with Daredevil End of Days? It's been advertised for a while now. And is this like a mini? Is this tie into the regular book?
It's 8 issues.
What's it about?
He's
the
dead.
End of.
So is Daredevil the end? Remember when Marvel did those stories?
Yes. Fantastic Four. Yeah, he starts off like in the battle of his life, and he gets killed.
He loses. Yeah.
He loses.
And then
some reporter telling
it goes
story.
back. Ben Ulrich always.
Yeah, right.
It turns out the beginning and the end started when he killed the Kingpin in a street fight.
Okay.
But it's been this, and it's wordy, and it's verbose, and it's not
the best end books. Marvel ruined it when they started doing end series. They did it with X-Men was like
that was ridiculous.
Issues.
Oh my god!
Are you kidding me?
Wasn't it Chris Claremont?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Ed Song? It was called something like that.
That dude has never been able to wrap a storyline in under like 150 issues.
The Punisher was great. The Hulk was great. The Hulk was sad, man. That was a good fucking book.
But again, it's one of those things where it's like
Hulk the End was great.
If they can run it into the ground, they will. How many times has Daredevil
Wolverine the End was 6 issues long.
Didn't Hulk die from cancer at the end? Hulk the End?
No, Bruce Banner died of cancer, and the Hulk was still around.
Which is
so the Hulk was now alone, and he's like, Hulk.
Hulk's lonely.
Okay, I remember something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hulk can't wipe in these pants.
Why does Hulk sound like a Sesame Street character?
You don't watch Robot Chicken?
Not really.
Hulk's very lonely. Hulk can't wipe, and Hulk has only one pair of
Robot Chicken is basically the actual animated version of Twisted Toy Fair Theater that used to be in that Wizard book, remember? Like in the middle, that was the only reason to buy Toy Fair.
So
if you can remember Wizard.
Characters.
Wow, you just fucking took it back.
Yeah.
I read Wizard in high school. Then I realized if I ever wanted to get laid, I'd just stop reading Wizard in high school. And
that was the problem.
Yes.
High
it
school
wasn't
was
the
what,
inveterate
15 years ago?
masturbation or lack of bathing. It was they saw you with a comic book magazine and were like,
But I went to art school. We were all nerds. What was I? Excuse? Oh, it was probably that fucking mustache.
I don't know because fucking our friend Ramon over here just belched a toxic neurotoxin into fucking air that is slowly going to destroy the axons and whatever the dendrites in my skull.
He can't even talk. He has no more adjectives left.
And then I make the pee-pee in my pants.
Minimum Carnage. Now I haven't even read this.
That is the most underwhelming name for anything.
Carnage is. It's
Why don't they call it like?
Carnage.
I feel like it should be whispered.
Yugo. Why don't they call it the Yugo of Doom? That's equally fucking menacing.
Minimum Carnage is a bad idea.
No.
A horrible
So
idea.
is it Scarlet Spider, Carnage, and
Venom.
So
it's basically all the ideas that they ran out of Spider-Man and were like, let's put it in one big book.
No, there was some good Carnage miniseries out there.
Venom is
the only reason I'm going to pick this up is because of Clayton Crane.
No, he just does the covers.
I'm not interested in
Yeah, he's not doing the...
Just the covers.
He was my reasoning for reading the other Carnage miniseries.
You know what's funny to me, though, is that the new incarnation of Venom, you know that book, The Haunt, that we reviewed off?
Yeah.
It absolutely reminds me of that in just a lot of
without that
ways.
white semen webbing stuff?
Except he doesn't rub semen on his face. Unless, that's what makes the front of his outfit white. In which case, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
But I cannot...
Venom has been pretty good, and so has Scarlet Spider. I'm just worried about like a little miniature Carnage running around.
No, it's not. Well, eventually he will get miniaturized.
He's going to be...
But he was taken out of prison.
Is that really going to
Yes,
it's going to be like a Fantastic Voyage kind
from
of
the
thing.
microverse, and he had to go to Texas. And
God.
Because Texas is actually part of the microverse.
You know what this...
I thought you were going to say America.
I want you to look at this.
What's with that?
What the fuck? Look, man, not to get too incredibly geeky, because this isn't even. I don't think the pages are numbered on it. There's it's this page.
Oh Jesus!
Where they're where it's on the Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
I want you to look at the Hulk's faces.
His faces.
They look like fucking Fraggles. Like like they look like characters from Fraggle.
I'm pretty sure that's because they're looking at some fucking 16-year-old redhead with big tits in some tight-ass outfit.
Oh, so you're saying like Hulk smash?
Adam Kubrick gets lazy sometimes.
I just think it's funny. They look like Muppets.
Hulk's like, I'd like to smash her bits. I'd like to smash her Phoenix Force. See what I did there?
See, you started this.
This is all my fault.
Iron Fist looks like Spider-Man almost.
It's true. We're all very lonely.
Oh, man.
So what other books are out there?
You're gonna give me a bag of shit for this, but I've actually been reading Bionic Man and Bionic Woman. I get it from my mother,
You are what's everything wrong in America.
It's a good book, man.
You're the reason why they make KFC famous bowls. You're the reason
I never ate a KFC. I don't like chicken.
Why they have a burrito bowl.
You don't like chicken?
I really don't. I would survive in the modern chew world. I don't really care for chicken. Give me any kind of red meat, but fowl just fucking is useless. I don't even like You know what Thanksgiving is for me? A fucking useless holiday. I don't like turkey. I'm sorry, I don't even like it wrapped in bacon. I'll pull off the bacon. Except it gets ruined by the taste of the turkey.
I can't.
What the hell is going on?
What about turkey cacciatore?
There's no words.
No.
Turkey parmesan?
No. Why would you do that to the fucking mozzarella and the gravy?
Turkey marsala?
No.
Nothing?
No, I don't like it.
Turkey cacciatore?
I don't like it.
What about if you stuffed a turkey in a pig and then covered that pig in sugar and baked it?
I would like to take one of those turducken things and see how far I could
turkey cake? Like a turkey cake almost?
Turducken sounds like something that my dog did in the living room and feels really bad about.
How is old Pablo anyway?
He is fantastic. He's opened his own business. He's got a car wash.
That's good.
He's doing very well. He's taken some very lucrative tax deductions and has managed to really push himself up into the upper middle class. He has purchased a home in Lodi, New Jersey.
So you got a bitch?
Several.
Nice.
God bless him. Becoming Mormon just did wonders for him. And he has said that 47% of this country.
Don't even do it. Don't do it.
I can't do it.
I just pictured one of those hats.
I mean,
that's Amish, never mind.
Yeah, the Amish. Yeah, the Mormons have buttons on their clothes and actually don't do crystal meth.
Our for politics will definitely differ. That is, there's no place for politics on the Pete Spaceman show.
No, there really isn't.
What there is a place for lately has been digital comics, and apparently Legends of the Dark Knight was an exclusive.
It's still going on. It's like up to It's double digits.
Hey, let's tell some more really mediocre Batman stories, and we'll put them on the internet.
Weren't you
It'll
reading
be
that?
brilliant.
Well, I just read it. Yeah.
He wanted issue 1, and
How was? So tell me.
The art's garbage.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know
It was bad.
I didn't know what I was looking at. And then the burning started and itching. And now
But
when I
wasn't
pee,
this
it
in the
looks like
comic shop?
glucose.
Like, what do they take the digital book and then print it?
Yeah, like Batman Beyond.
Okay, yeah.
Smallville is continuing in digital comics.
They did that with Buffy too.
Yeah.
You were reading.
And
But
people
that's
like
still in
that.
books though. They went straight to books. That was
Speaking of things that were digital and then printed back on Free Comic Book Day, they released a preview of this book that I was reading called The Mortal Instruments. It's basically like a fucking. It's like a teeny bopper vampire book, but it's vampires, demons, monsters, and there are all these things called shadow hunters. And they're like fucking Simon Belmonts. They go around killing fucking monsters and demons and shit. You could definitely tell. First of all, the writer is actually...
Castlevania.
The writer's from this neighborhood. She's from Brooklyn, which is kind of why I started reading it in the first place. She mentions a whole bunch of, landmarks in Brooklyn, from the gas tanks to the Kosciuszko Bridge and shit. It's really cool. She mentions Kent Avenue and everything. That's why I kind of started to like it. And you could definitely tell this girl was a fucking gamer growing up. She's around our age. She's in her, early 30s. This girl definitely wasted plenty of hours playing fucking Castlevania, Legend of Zelda, and all kinds of crazy shit. There's a female shadow hunter, vampire hunter, whatever, with a fucking chain whip. Are you kidding me? They throw crosses. That's fucking Castlevania. This girl was a fucking gamer. And the book was actually really interesting.
She will one day be
issues.
Pete's wife.
seriously. You haven't found her yet.
Either that, or you're gonna find out she's like this morbidly obese land cow trapped in a
What? I'm sorry, she was. Yeah.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
Named Frank.
Which is exactly why I haven't tried to seek her out. That's exactly
Hey,
why.
it's me.
But
Hey,
the books
it's me,
are
Pete
good.
DeLuca. Want to
And-
come over? I would, but I can't get out the basement. You know why? 565 pizzas with everything. Oh, well then, I should come to you.
You're going to burn. Burn. I know you guys don't believe in that, but trust me, you're going to burn.
Listen, I'm already burning every time I pee.
I should have seen that coming.
That's what she said.
pun intended.
Oh. Anyway,
The point is, the Mortal Instruments have been released as a digital comic book. The first book is going to be 9 issues. They came out with the first one, and they're probably going to see publication before the movie comes out next year. But it's actually, if you like that shit, kind of, fucking vampires and monsters, and no glittery assholes like Twilight runs around, it's actually a pretty fun book.
Oh my God! I saw Cosmopolis.
Yeah, huh?
That new book with Pattinson. Edward Jacob. Whatever his name
Is that something you take?
The guy from
Robert
Twilight.
Pattinson?
Yeah, he did it with.
I'm taking Pattinson now.
Yeah, it's
Are you
bad.
taking penicillin? Is that what you said?
Penicillin. Put in your penis and it makes sure you fire.
I don't even understand what that
It's
meant.
for gonorrhea.
Yeah, special.
The penis might hear.
I bumped my head.
And with that, guys,
everything's
we
starting.
will see you next week at Comic-Con. Hit us up and let us know if you're going to be there. Coming up on the Pete's Basement site, by the time you see this, there will be a Google Calendar, so we will let you know when we're going to be at Comic-Con, which of us are going to be there, at what times at the booth, and who's going to be walking around the convention floor. We're going to have some cool giveaways for you.
And Ramon will be naked. Yes, for all of Comic-Con at the booth. All this love for you.
You gotta put disclaimer.
Ramon's going to cosplay as Namor.
Ever seen a Harry Potter
Fucking winged feet and everything.
superfluous nipple?
Ramon wants to show all you girls his trident.
Which is to say, his triple penis.
He's got
It is
3
growing out. in a very
so
straight
he can fuck
formation.
3 girls at the same time. It's like bang.
What is peeing like, Ramon? What is peeing like?
This turned into some hentai shit.
Oh yeah, there's a survey,
There is a survey.
and it's totally unrelated to naked Ramon's
And
triplicate
it's
penis.
actually a lot to do with what Steve should do. And we want to know what you
With
think
his
Steve should do.
triplicate penis?
No, not with the triplicate penis. God damn it.
You ever think you'd be using that statement in public? Can't say that I have.
Now, if somebody was born that way, you think they would ever go to get surgery to have
Really?
it moved to her?
Triplicate penis, all I'd have to say is this. You either have a very happy wife, very unhappy wife. Nothing in between.
Did you hear about
Nothing in between.
What?
I love you, honey. Oh, God, keep that away from me.
Remember Porky's?
Do
Did
I?
you hear about the guy who had 5 penises? His pants fit like a glove. Go on peachbasement.com/survey and let us know what you think of the show.
For that, I think.
You do.
Special undies.
You gotta.
They've got a special athletic cup for that. And the condoms are just. Well,
how can we improve Peach Basement? Take our survey and let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you. You're the greatest fans in the world, and you make this all worth it.
Don't spoil
We'll see you next week.
You're gonna spoil him.
You're gonna spell him.
Spell him. Is he bleeding? Check him.
Oh man, profusely.
My brain's coming out the back of my head like I drive a pickup truck in West Virginia. So the funniest part is when they got to the center. But the bouncer apparently choked him unconscious by the end of the night because he came out and when he wanted just vegan.
Wait, if he's a vegan, what the fuck is he doing?
Wait, he's so much better because he also smokes. So he lives.
Worried about cancer?
He lives in San Francisco where you can still smoke anywhere. So he comes out, he's smoking in the bouncer's face, and apparently, I'm only hearing this secondhand. He was smoking, and the guy was like, "Could you please go downwind?" And he did that passive-aggressive thing where, like, yes, he moved, but then he complained about it loudly. And finally, the bouncer apparently choked him on, like, jujitsu choked him unconscious.
Ramon, can you lift the mic up between the two buttons? It's too low.
Put it between your tits and fucking squeeze them just like that.
That shake what your mama gave you. Oh, yes.
How about now?
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they say it's better than yours.
Who invited the Jew? Who really invited the Jew?
Fire it up.
Enough of the triple. We almost missed you.
At 7 in the basement. You really should. I can't. This is dying.
Enough with the triplicate penis already.
Oh, my ass.
Hey, Giddy.
No. Enough with the triplicate penis.